Hi, I'm Neil Druckmann, creative director of The Last of Us.
And I'm Ashley Johnson, and I play Ellie in The Last of Us. And you are watching Eurogamer.
I reckon it's got something to do with that girl.
It's got everything to do with that little girl.
What's up, Fungi fans? Ian from Eurogamer here, back with the second part of my The Last of Us interview, which this time concentrates on voice actress Ashley Johnson and the character she plays, Ellie. So Ashley, from the demos I've played, Ellie seems very brave, very strong-willed, and she likes to swear a lot. Can you give us a bit of a background on what's made a 14-year-old girl have this type of personality?
Ellie, I think, is what makes her interesting is that she has only grown up in this world. You know, she doesn't know anything different. And Jacob Minkoff, who works at Naughty Dog, he made a really interesting point in the video where he says, you know, Ellie's never had a golden age that she looks back to. And I think that's pretty interesting because we all have a time of like, oh, I remember that time in my life that I loved, or, you know, I look back on this, you know, the 20s or something, and I think it's so amazing. But it's like Ellie doesn't have a time that was a fun time in her life, I don't think. You know, it's been a rough road from the day she was born. You know, it's been survival from the day she was born. And so I think even though she's 14, she's not your average teenager. I don't think anyone in this world is your average teenager. And I think she's pretty brave and pretty smart and still has a really good attitude, even though this world is pretty dark and dreary.
She has a very prominent eyebrow scar. Is there a story about how she came to get that?
I don't know. You know, I think he just likes eyebrow scars.
There is a story, but we're not revealing it.
That kind of scar suggests to me that she may have been in a few scrapes and so can certainly hold her own in this violent world. Would you agree?
I definitely think Ellie can hold her own. I don't think she's the type of character or sidekick, whatever you want to call her, that is tagging along, that becomes annoying because you're always having to save this character. And she's very capable. And
that's actually something that Ashley brought, you know, when we start fleshing out the character in one of the first cinematics that we shot. There's a guy pulling Ellie out of the truck and fighting with her. And on that first day, Ashley was like, I feel like I would hit him. I feel like Ellie's not doing enough here. And it was like, then hit him. You know, we had a stunt guy there on the set that day. And Ashley really made Ellie a lot more capable than we initially envisioned for the game.
I think a lot of it was, as a gamer, I think when you play games where you have your sort of sidekick or whatever, it can become annoying. And, you know, I've played games where you're like, if I didn't have you in the game, I could go through this mission so much quicker and you would stop dying or something. Or like, you know, so I didn't want Ellie to be that. I wanted it to be, you know, not that I'm in charge of changing who she is, but you know, it was nice with talking about it, you know, sort of figuring out where Ellie could be stronger.
What's Ellie's relationship with Joel? Judging from the preview I've played, he's had a pretty dark past, so how does she view him? Does she see him as a threat, a guardian? Do her feelings for him evolve, and vice versa?
There's definitely a lot of mistrust between the characters at the beginning. You know, she's still sizing him up. They both end up in a situation they don't want to be in. And they're kind of forced to rely on one another reluctantly. You know, Ellie has we kind of explore this in the comic book as well, but she has a history of having these guardians that have either died or have abandoned her. So she approaches this situation with trepidation. And likewise for Joel, you know, for him, he survives, you know, he's very cynical. And his way of surviving is not getting to attach to other people. It's just one other person in this world he trusts, which is Tess, his partner in this black market. So for him, Ellie, at least the beginning of the story, is just cargo. It's a means to an end, and it's what he needs to deliver in order to get payment.
You recorded all your lines while in a mocap suit. One of the most well-loved mocap performances has to be Michael Mando's portrayal of Vas Montenegro in Far Cry 3. It's been stated that the success of his character was due to improvisation. The producers really let him go wild. Was much of Ellie's dialogue improvised, or did you stick rigidly to a script?
We would improvise every once in a while, but I think Neil's writing was incredible, so it was very easy and organic and natural to sort of read right off of the page, you know. And in that day of rehearsal that we would have before shooting, we could talk about stuff and see if, you know, we wanted to change anything. But most of the time, we kept to what he wrote because it was so good.
She's being pretty humble, because a lot of times, like, it would change and she would improvise. A lot of the humor was actually improvising in the game. So, like, as you play the demo and you hear her humming and singing and all that, you know, there wasn't a script for that. That's Ashley right there.
Finally, guys, do you think, like Ellie, you would be strong enough to be able to survive in the world of The Last of Us, or do you think you'd be goners straight away?
I'd be gone. I think Ashley would have a bit of a chance, because she's got some scrap in her. But there's no way. I don't know how to fix the car. I can't drive manual. I'd be the first one to die.
Yeah, I would hope I would survive.
You have a survival kit at home.
This is true. I have lots of survival kits. I have one in my car, just in case, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to think that I would.
Yeah, I'd like to think I've played enough video games and watched enough films to be able to last a while in Fungus Land, but in reality I'd probably last about 10 minutes, because I'm rubbish at running.
This is a good spot.
Thanks for watching, you lovely peoples, and don't forget to give us a subscribe by clicking on that on-screen annotation. Not only do we have loads more exclusive content coming up very soon for all of this year's biggest and best games, but also clicking on that button renders you immune to the cordyceps fungi spores, so it will effectively save your life if the events of The Last of Us actually come to pass. See you next time! Disclaimer, clicking on the subscription link will not save your life in the event of an airborne fungus-based catastrophe.
Here's the bridge. That's our way out of here. Hey, Ellie, slow down. Wait for me.
What? Right here.
How about you let me go first? And keep your voice down.
Okay.